have an other salt to prepare, raise your hand if you can tell me what should be the reactants. We want to prepare lead to sulfate. Raise your hand only, and then I will ask you what reactants we can use to make lead to sulfate. First of all, is it going to be soluble salt, insoluble salt, and what can be the reactants? Okay, so you can use the table as well. And okay, we have Samreen.
Miss, can I say?
Yes, Samreen.
Miss, we will use like 2 soluble salts to prepare lead sulfate because lead sulfate is insoluble.
Okay, fine.
So the salts are lead nitrate and potassium sulfate.
Okay, 1 second. You are saying that we can use lead nitrate. It will provide
Yes.
lead. And the other one?
Potassium sulfate.
Calcium
No, Miss
sulfate.
Potassium. Miss Potassium.
Potassium sulfate, because calcium one is insoluble. Yes, yes. So potassium sulfate is going to be soluble, which is going to provide sulfate. Okay. Okay. Aram was raising hand as well. Yes, Aram, you want to say?
Yes, Miss, I wanted to say the same thing.
Just
That it
say
is
it.
insoluble lead sulfate. It will be made with 2 lead nitrate and lead sulfuric acid.
Lead nitrate. Okay, lead nitrate is going to be soluble. And the second one?
Is it lead sulfuric acid?
Sulfuric acid. We are not using acid. We are using a salt. Both should be salt.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell me anything which will provide sulfate? And also, it should be a soluble salt. Yes, Wafia.
This, as Samreen said, I think we could use potassium sulfate.
Potassium sulfate. Okay.
We could also
And
use sodium sulfate, Miss, like any.
yes, sodium sulfate will work as well, except barium, calcium, lead sulfate. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Miss, I'm thinking ammonium sulfate also.
ammonium sulfate. Yes. Ammonium is soluble. Sulfates are also soluble. Yes. It will provide sulfate. And the second thing which is providing the lead.
Lead nitrate. We all
Lead
agree on
nitrate.
that one.
It can
Yes,
only be
lead
lead
nitrate.
nitrate because any
Nitrate,
other
you can
lead
choose
is insoluble.
any nitrate, any sodium, potassium, ammonium salts, because they are going to be all soluble. No risk. In case of the chloride, sulfate, carbonate, you have to come to the table and you have to think about it. But if you're choosing anything having sodium, potassium, ammonium, or nitrates, 100% soluble. No need to think about it. Okay, no risk of any mistake.
Yes,
Okay.
but Miss, for lead, even if we know the table, there is no any other soluble salt with lead other than lead nitrate. The others
Yes.
are all in.
Yeah, because lead chloride is going to be insoluble, lead sulfate is going to be insoluble over here. Yes, lead carbonate is going to be insoluble as well. So yeah, lead nitrate only is going to be soluble over here. Okay, now we can move back. Yes, Luna.
Miss, even when we are we said lead nitrate and then we chose ammonium sulfate. It will also be lead sulfate plus ammonium nitrate. As you can see, if you check, it is also soluble. Insoluble salt, soluble
But
salt.
ammonium nitrate is not giving us sulfate or lead. One name
No,
from
Miss. The product.
a product. Okay. Yes, product. Fine. Okay. Okay, so let's check out what they are doing. So yes, it is going to be insoluble salt. So our aim is going to be to prepare the dry sample of this lead to sulfate. It is going to be in the form of precipitate because it's insoluble salt. So it means both the reactants should be soluble. We are taking the soluble salt 1, soluble salt 2, we are mixing them together, and then we are going to just, if they are already in the form of solution, we can mix them together, or we can mix them in the water as well, because the water will provide the medium for a better solubility. Okay? Yes, Wafia.
Miss, my question was, I couldn't hear you earlier when Aram said the same thing as my question, but can't we use let's say lead oxide and sulfuric acid?
No, I did not say we are using lead oxide or sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is
Miss,
acid over here.
Miss, I'm saying like hypothetically, couldn't that be used as well?
Sulfuric acid is acid. What we need two salts, the soluble salts. We don't
Oh,
need
we need two
base in
salts.
this reaction or alkali in the reaction. Okay? So
Miss,
we are not going to use any sulfuric acid over here or any acid or alkali. Because in this precipitation method, specifically, we need two salts to start the reaction.
Oh, no, Miss, what I'm saying is
Hmm.
we could hypothetically make lead 2 sulfate using, let's say, lead oxide and sulfuric acid. Like it's possible.
Lead oxide and sulfuric
This will
acid.
give us
Okay.
a soluble
What will
salt.
be the side products?
Miss, this will give us a soluble salt and water, right?
The product will be different. That will not be double displacement reaction, and that will not be precipitation reaction as well. So we need to react two salts together to make two salts at the end. Only then it will be known as a precipitation method. This is not the only method
Okay.
to make insoluble salt. We have many other methods. Yes, if we take the sulfuric acid, you can make it as well. But that will not be precipitation method.
But
That will
Miss,
not be double displacement method.
what if in the question they didn't say that they want any specific method? So
No, no, no.
Wafia's method is
In your
different.
syllabus, you just have precipitation method for the insoluble salt. So you have to just mention precipitation method, nothing else for the insoluble salt.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. So that is the reason we cannot use anything else. We have to just use two soluble salts to make one soluble, one insoluble salt. No side product with it. And why we are not using any other method? Because if there will be some water, as Mariam said, then let's say in this method, when we are getting one soluble salt, one insoluble, it's very easy and safe to get both at the end. You can separate insoluble, remaining is soluble salt, nothing else. If water will be the side product inside, then you have to do extra step to evaporate the water and to get the final solution. Okay, the final crystals. So that is possible as well, but we are basically concerned with the precipitation method only, the double
Miss,
displacement reaction. Okay,
Miss.
so
But when we use lead oxide and sulfuric acid, as they're saying, won't the first of all it will be neutralization. We know that. But Miss, won't the salt?
neutralization is when acid and base react, acid and alkali react. They are taking acid with one salt. They are taking one of the salt from the table and then they are reacting with the sulfuric acid. So that is salt plus acid together. This reaction we are not doing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That is not neutralization. That is not precipitation reaction.
Oh, I thought it was neutralization. But Miss, won't it give out soluble salt? Miss,
No, no.
I couldn't understand the question. I
Okay.
couldn't understand.
Wait. Basically, you're getting confused over here. No need to mix the salt with the acid. Salt with the acid will give you some other products. Okay. You just need soluble
That's
salt.
confusing.
Yeah, don't get confused. You are going in a wrong direction and you are getting confused as well. Okay. Just take two soluble salts. It will give you one soluble, one insoluble salt at the end. That's it. Khalas. Nothing else. Okay. Don't get confused in this method. Don't add the sulfuric acid or any other alkali or something over here because acid alkali was a separate method. Acid we are using in case of the soluble salt method, not in the insoluble salt method. Okay. So after mixing them, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all stir them properly, mix them, then just filter them so that we can collect the precipitate separately, and this solution will be separate. And then after getting the precipitate, we can just wash them with the water, clean the precipitate, and then just dry them in the oven as well. Because this is not going to break down, it is insoluble salt, that's fine. You can dry them in oven at low temperature, not very high temperature, or you can dry them in between the filter paper as well. Okay. Okay, if you want to write the method, now we are going to take the equal amount of volume and concentration of both the salts. For example, they are using the very first soluble salt lead 2 nitrate and the second one potassium sulfate. Lead 2 nitrate will provide lead, potassium sulfate will provide sulfate. So we will be getting lead sulfate at the end. And the side reaction, side salt will be produced as well. So we are going to write in the method how much volume and concentration you are taking. Volume 25 centimeter cube and concentration is 0.5 mole per dm cube. In the exam, maybe they will provide you the concentration or you can write any concentration, but both should have same volume, same concentration to react together. Okay. So first you are going to take one of the salt and then you are going to take the second salt and you are going to mix them together. Then filter to remove the precipitate, wash the filtrate with the water to remove any traces of any solution, and then leave in the oven to dry. A double displacement reaction will happen in which both the reactants are going to switch their ions and we are getting the final two salts. One of them is insoluble. This lead 2 sulfate is the one that we want to make over here. So in case of the care, what we have to do, you can add this point for this reaction that handle all the, you can say the salts very carefully, especially the lead salt because lead salt are toxic. So we are using the lead nitrate and we are getting the lead sulfate as well. So they are toxic. So when we are performing the experiment, we have to just be very careful so that there are no splashes or something. So that's how the method will be done. Any question till here?
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, Wafia.
So, Miss, it's kind of relevant to the topic, but when I was younger, I had this crystal making, experiment set, right? And I
Okay.
remember reading in the manual once that when the crystallization is supposed to take place, when the reaction when evaporation has to take place, the petri dish should be left in a silent place or somewhere with less noise. Is there a reason to that, or did they just do that for no reason?
Who told you to put it in a silent place?
Miss, it was in the instructions leaflet, and it was like if you put it in a loud place, it messes with the growth of the crystals and stuff. I don't know.
I have no idea about this. That how the voice or the noise can disturb the crystal formation. This will be new information for me as well. I will search about this, but I have no idea how the noise can disturb the salt formation, crystals
Miss,
formation.
maybe they were thinking about an earthquake or something
No,
moving.
not an earthquake. It was like put it in like a silent place, like verbatim.
Okay, I will definitely check about this. It will be an interesting information for me as well. That the noise can
Miss,
disturb the crystal formation. I have no
yeah,
idea
Miss,
about it. Seriously. In
I
which
still
grade you
have
did this?
that leaflet. Miss,
Mhm.
no, it was like something I bought like out of school for an
Okay,
activity.
out.
And
Okay, fine. We'll search about this. If there is any link, I will let you know that if there is any link of the noise with the salt formation or crystal formation, maybe.
oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
Well,
Any other question,
send the
girls?
link
Mm-hmm.
if possible. Can you send it if possible?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I have it. Let me just like take it out of my drawer.
Okay. Okay, girls, this one
Okay.
is done. Now you can take 5
Miss,
minutes break
Miss,
only.
I have a question.
If you have question, just ask. Yes.
Miss, I didn't get about the double decomposition. Like, why is it called
Double
double decomposition?
Okay, see, double decomposition means you are taking AC is one reactant, B and D is other reactant. Okay. So in the replacement reaction, what we said before, that one of the reactant can come and replace the position. Let's say you have A, C with B. Okay. B is coming and replacing A. So what will happen? You will get the product BC with A. A is going out and B is coming and replacing A. So this is single displacement. Single
Yes.
means only one is coming and replacing one of them. Okay. Now what is going to happen? B is coming to replace A. A is coming to replace B as well. Double replacement.
Oh,
Now
okay.
your final product is going to be AD with BC. We did the single replacement even today in the class, substitution reaction. That one reactive thing can come and replace the unreactive or less reactive one. So if only one of them is coming to replace it, that is single replacement reaction. If both are replacing, B is coming here, A is going over there, both are replacing at the same time, then it is going to be double displacement reaction.
So, Miss,
So
in
in
this
this
case,
one, double displacement reaction is happening. How? Potassium is coming in place of the lead to make potassium nitrate. Lead is going in place of the potassium to make lead sulfate.
okay, Miss.
This reaction is basically double displacement reaction.